You know, when I was sworn into Parliament, I had one person in the gallery who was supporting me that day for the first time, and that was my social studies teacher from when I was 13 years old. He was the only person I wanted or felt I needed to be there that day. I believe that education and teachers have the power to change young people's lives because it changed mine. But things have certainly changed since my day. I was of the era of Dewey Decimal Systems, not Google. And we do need to make sure that we're constantly staying abreast of the changes that are occurring. And Labour has always been at the fore of educational change, be it Peter Fraser or Longy and tomorrow's schools. And we must be at the fore again. But there are 4 principles that for Labour it's really important we keep in mind when it comes to progress within education, things that do not change. The first of those is that we have a world-class system now. It's about maintaining our world-class education system, not chasing failed overseas models. Number 2, every child should have the right to go to their nearest school and have it be the best school that they can possibly attend in the country. Every school should be the best school for that child, no matter where they live or where they're born. Thirdly, we should be listening and working alongside our teachers and the education sector. And why? Because they're there for the best interests of children. And so therefore, their recommendations, their suggestions will be in the best interest of children. So a collaborative approach is always the best approach. And finally, we must recognise, as has been said, and all the evidence tells us, children's learning does not happen in isolation. They do not leave their lives behind at the school gate. If we want to improve educational outcomes, we must improve their lives and their families' lives. So to get down into the nitty-gritty of some of the detail I've been asked to talk about, firstly, issues like national standards. If you haven't heard the message clearly enough from Labour before, you'll hear it now. We will scrap national standards. They are neither national nor are they standard, and I always love the way Marion Hobbs said it. Doesn't matter how many times you weigh the pig, it doesn't make it fatter. We will make sure that we work alongside the sector to ensure that we have a way of ensuring that we report against the progress of a child, not against some national benchmarks, but about how well that child is progressing, because surely that's where our interest should lie. And that we teach across the full breadth of our fantastic, diverse curriculum, not narrowing down and turning our education system into a factory that churns out workers out the other end for Stephen Joyce to again narrow even further at tertiary education. We will also repeal charter schools. Why should we put our children in front of people who are not trained or qualified, who have no requirement to teach to curriculum? Now, I'm not saying that we could not be doing more for children at the moment who are not doing well in our schooling system. But there are other ways we can cater for those children. Let's make it easier to set up schools of special character that have trained and qualified teachers in them who still teach to curriculum but who cater for their needs. Let's use the money we were going to use for national standards into decent professional development for our teachers to work alongside those children who are struggling in our schooling system. That would be a far better investment than anything that we've had suggested, unfortunately, thus far from the Minister and the Government. That leads me to my 2 last points. Our greatest assets, I believe, in our education system are our teachers. I absolutely agree. Let's improve their ability to form relationships with their children. We'll put children they're working with, we'll put an extra 2,000 teachers into our schooling system so that we can have smaller class sizes. We will also have 100 extra special education teachers, and I hope someone asks a question on that so I can expand. And finally, PISA told us more than just how we were achieving. It told New Zealand, if you want to improve outcomes for children, focus on socio-economic issues. We will set targets to reduce child poverty, and we will hold ourselves to account to do that. Living wage, minimum wage is just the beginning. That's what it will take to ensure that we vote for kids this election.